Hello everybody and welcome back to One Nerd to Rule Them All. In today's video, I will be doing my first video on the different realms and kingdoms of the people of Middle-earth. Today we are talking about one of my favourite settlements in the world of Tolkien, founded by Elrond Half Elven. Today we are talking about Rivendell. So, without further ado, let's get into the video. Rivendell, or Imladris, was an elven outpost in the Misty Mountains on the eastern edge of Eriador. Due to its location, it was called the last homely house, from the point of view of a traveller going to the Misty Mountains and Wilderland, and also the first homely house from the point of view of someone coming from those lands to the civilised lands of Eriador to the west. It was established by Lord Elrond in 1697 of the Second Age as a refuge from Sauron after the fall of Eregion. It remained Elrond's seat throughout the remainder of the Second Age and until the end of the Third Age, when he took the White Ship for Valinor. Rivendell had a strong alliance with the kings of Arnor, and after the fall of Arthedain, it became a refuge for the Rangers of the North and the heir of Isildur. Rivendell was located at the edge of a narrow gorge of the Bruin River, but well hidden in the moorlands and foothills of the Misty Mountains. Pine trees grew on the top of the valley, and there was a steep zigzag path to the valley bottom. The vegetation in the valley bottom was mostly oak and beech. During the war of the Elves and Sauron, and as Sauron was moving against Eriador, Elrond led armies of Elves of Lindon to the region. They arrived late, but were joined by a detachment out of Eregion led by Celeborn. Despite this, Sauron's armies overwhelmed the Elves, and Elrond was unable to reach Eregion. Forced northward towards the headwaters of the Bruin, Elrond established a stronghold. This became a refuge for those seeking shelter from Sauron's onslaught in Eriador, and Elrond and Celeborn's elves were soon joined by many fleeing the sack of Eregion. More came as Sauron ravaged Eriador on his march towards Lindon. By 1700 of the Second Age, Sauron had overrun all of Eriador and Imladris was besieged. The siege ended when Gil-galad's forces, strengthened by an armament sent by Tar-Minastir, routed Sauron's armies and drove him out of Eriador. A council held at the time made Elrond Gil-galad's vice-regent in Eriador and Imladris his seat. Gil-galad bestowed Vilya upon Elrond in secret. Aided by the power of the Elven Ring, Elrond made Imladris one of the chief seats of Elvish strength in the west, in the latter part of the Second Age. Imladris remained an Elvish stronghold in Eriador to the end of the Second Age and into the Third. At the end of the Second Age, Elendil and Gil-galad formed the last alliance of elves and men to challenge Sauron. Their host halted for a while at Imladris in 3431 of the Second Age, and they stayed there for 3 years, gathered their forces, before crossing the Misty Mountains. Isildur's wife and his youngest son, Valinor, were in Imladris at this time, and Isildur was journeying back to them after Sauron's defeat when he was ambushed at the Gladden Fields. After receiving the shards of Narsil, Valinor took up his role as king of Arnor and left Imladris for Numinas. After the fall of Gil-galad, Elrond remained in Imladris. During the Third Age, it was a refuge and sanctuary. Many elves gathered there, and it was the chief dwelling of the High Elves of Eriador, but also wise and powerful people of all races. The heirs of Isildur were also harboured there due to their kinship with Elrond, as descendants of his brother Elros. Danger came to Eriador around 1300 of the Third Age, when Angmar was established in the northeast beyond the Etten Moors. It was late in the reign of Arvlag I that Rivendell was besieged by Angmar. After an incursion by Angmar in Eriador in 1409 of the Third Age, the Elves of Rivendell joined those of Lindon and the Galadrim, whom Elrond brought over the mountains in subduing the power of the Witch King for many years. After the end of the North Kingdom in 1975 of the Third Age, Arannath, the first chieftain of the Dunedain, had his son fostered in Rivendell, as well as all subsequent sons of the chieftains. The heirlooms and the treasures of the House of Isildur including the shards of Narsil, were also kept there after Rivendell's death. Among these were also some of the few remaining documents containing the history of Númenor. There was traffic across the Misty Mountains in the Third Age between Imladris and Lothlorien, for Elrond's wife was Celebrind, daughter of Galadriel and Celeborn. In the quest of Erebor, Bilbo Baggins stopped off at Rivendell with the dwarves on the way to the Lonely Mountain, and also on the way back to the Shire with Gandalf. Bilbo retired there after his 111th birthday, writing his memoir There and Back Again. Years later, Frodo Baggins and his companions journeyed to Rivendell, where they met Bilbo. Several other elves, dwarves and men had also arrived at Rivendell on separate errands. At the Council of Elrond, they learned that their errands were related to the fate of the One Ring, and they had to decide what to do about it. In the end, the hobbits influenced the decision. Following the destruction of the One Ring at the end of the Third Age, Elrond's ring lost its power, and Elrond, with many of his household, left Rivendell to sail to Valinor from the Grey Havens. This marked the start of the Fourth Age. Although Elrond departed from Rivendell, Eladin and Elrohir remained for a while with some of the remaining Noldor. It is believed that Celeborn also relocated to Rivendell after the departure of Galadriel, having also grown weary of East Lorien. It is not known when Rivendell was finally abandoned, but shortly before Aragorn died, in 120 of the Fourth Age, he said to Arwen that none now walk in the Garden of Elrond, indicating that the last of the Noldor had departed to Valinor. This is the tale of Rivendell. In my opinion, one of the most beautiful places in Middle-earth. If you enjoyed this video, then please leave a like and comment down below any places that you would like me to cover in the future. Anyway, that'll be it from me. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.